So what I would like to do is demonstrate how to use the command line and Java debuggers to run the AeroGear mobile plugin for IntelliJ and Android Studio, as well as how to connect a debugger to it and step through the code. So I've cloned the repositories right here, and as you can see I've added my own repository, and I have the GitHub official repository here, so if you haven't done this yet you would need to clone this repository. I also have the mobile tool set up, and if you do not have this as well, you'll need to clone it from the AeroGear mobile CLI repository as well and build it and set it up. You can find information for that tool in its repository. So this is a Gradle-based project, so if we want we can export we can cat out the build file and take a look at it. The most important part of the build file is this section right here, IntelliJ. When you're starting your plugin, you'll want to update this alternative path to be Android Studio, your Android Studio install, if you're using Android Studio. Otherwise you can use IntelliJ. So let's uncomment that path right now for my own uses, and then we can run Gradle wrapper run IDE, and we'll see that it downloads and sets everything up in the background, and it invokes Android Studio using a sandboxed install. I've already loaded it once. This is separate from my normal Android Studio profile, and once the project starts up we can see that we have the AeroGear mobile tab here. It's using the mobile CLI to connect to a local OpenShift instance, and I can deploy these services normally. Now if we were going to debug this, we would instead run, do the same thing except pass in this debug JVM flag. And what it'll do is it will start up, and you see that there's a socket listening on 5005. So right now, until we attach the debugger, all of this stuff is paused. So if we go into our IDE of choice, in my particular case I'm using NetBeans, we can attach a debugger on port 5005 using socket attach. We press OK. We see that we are doing this, and Android Studio starts up, and once the plugin begins initializing we will hit our breakpoints in NetBeans. So Android Studio is starting, and voila. Our plugin is starting up inside of Android Studio, and we can step through these options as normal, add and remove breakpoints, and then we will see that the plugin is now here. Is now here. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, just post them to the AeroGear Google group.